What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Savvy High Stakes Week 10 recap and takeaway show. Tonight, we're going to discuss some key takeaways from Week 10. We're going to also, towards the end of the show, go over tonight's game, give some props, just like we have been last week. And we're also going to focus in on questions in the chat this week. So if you guys have questions, drop them in the chat. We'll definitely try to hit as many as we can. I'm here with Joey Brown and Josh Bolin. Mr. Dan Jewett cannot be with us tonight. He had family obligations, so it's just the three of us. What's up, fellas? How's it going this evening?
Going good. Going good. Happy birthday to Dan's twins. Tomorrow's their birthday. They'll be 15. So happy birthday, Hayden
nice.
and Jordan.
That's good.
Happy birthday, absolutely. 15, geez.
Yeah.
It goes by quick. My daughter's going to be 11 in May. It does.
I don't know how Ohio is, but Kentucky, now they can do permits at 15 now.
Yeah.
We're 15 and a half, but I think Dan's already sweating that.
Oh, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Nice. I remember when I got my permit and my dad took me out driving for the first time. He literally had two cigarettes, one in one hand, one in the other. we went cruising around the cemetery. It was hilarious. Yeah. But anyways, back to the football. We got Jamie in the chat. We got Albert. What's up, guys? Appreciate you joining us. Drop the questions. We're answering questions tonight, as many questions as we can. So you guys have any lineup questions, any prop bets, anything going into, anything you need help with going into week 11, drop your questions. And we're going to start with the Thursday night stinker of a game, Denver and Las Vegas. Bo Nix, disappointing. 150 yards, one touchdown, -2 rushing yards. He's been so inconsistent. It's crazy. It's almost like if you're platooning him and you make the wrong decision, it hurts. And you almost have to just, he's good in total points leagues, I guess, because he still is top 10, and you just got to roll with them every week and just let the big games outweigh the duds. But in those wins and loss leagues, he gives you that 9. He got 9 points in 6-point passing TD, 7.3 points in standard 4-point. That can hurt. Your quarterback should average somewhere between 18 and 25 points in standard score, and they give you a 7. You're behind the 8 ball. So that definitely hurts. Troy Franklin scored a touchdown, 40 yards. I thought we were going to see Pat Bryant get more involved. He had the one big catch for 43 yards. Nothing after that. I think that Bo Nix should should go back to his gravy and be using Cortland Sutton as his number 1 instead of Troy Franklin. What do you guys thoughts on that, real quick? What do you think the problem is with Bo Nix? Why he shows some inconsistencies?
I don't know if it's the play calling right now. I don't know. I mean, he's got the arm. I mean, they need to open him up more and it's like they're holding him back. I mean, I don't know, bad vibe right now. It kills me because he was one of the most on quarterbacks going into the league. And I played him this week. Just stupid me, but I played him.
So we, Sean Payton. I got a little something. I got a little something for Sean Payton right here. Another one. Yeah. All right. That's how I agree.
I agree with Joey, and it's like, man, just open the game up for him. Let him, sometimes you see that with these players that kind of excel when they can scramble and get out of the pocket, and it's like they want to make him a pocket passer. Just let him play. Get out there and play.
We got a trade review here. We have Diggs, Gibbs, and Fannin for Waddle, Kittle, Trevion, and Higgins. I'm liking the Gibbs, Higgs, Fannin side.
Yeah.
On this. The return is not quite enough to be giving up Gibbs. Gibbs is
he's the best player in the deal.
Best player.
He's the best player in the deal. Diggs has been a really, really strong red zone option for Drake May. We know that he isn't getting alpha wide receiver one volume. New England likes to spread the ball around. But he is being leaned on down near the end zone. He's got a touchdown in, I want to say, 3 consecutive games. It may even be 4, but I know it's at least 3. Harold Fannin, he was banged up coming into this week, so we saw Njoku get more run. I mean, they're splitting time, so Fannin's expendable. But what you're getting in return here is Kittle and Waddle. Waddle has been pretty good, but is still injury prone. George Kittle, I mean, the other tight ends and just the way that San Fran operates around the goal line, it goes against George Kittle, and I think it's causing some inconsistencies. Tonjes is still around. You got Juszczyk. There's just a lot of red zone options that kind of hurt his touchdown value.
Farrell's taking his touchdowns from him.
Yeah, Luke Farrell too. Yeah,
Farrell and Tonjes is the better tight end, and Farrell's the one getting the touchdowns instead of being the other way around.
The only thing that makes this really close would be a lot closer, and I probably would do it if we know Trevion was going to be the man, and if Brock Purdy was still back in the picture for Kittle, because them two's real close,
Right.
I think that might, like you all saying how Mac Jones spreads it around all them other tight ends. I think if Purdy was back, I might would do it, but like you was talking about a while ago, Ramondre Stevenson's going to be back in play, and Gibbs is by far the best player of the deal, and then probably Waddle, Kittle.
Yeah, Kittle needs Ricky Pearsall back. He needs Brandon Ayuk back, because without those guys out there, he's drawing a lot of the attention from the defense. So you get some of those studs back out there at the wide receiver, and then Kittle starts finding his openings. So, but yeah. I don't think I would do the trade. Gibbs is the stud there. Yeah. They're offering you some Week 10 eye candy on that other side.
Yeah,
this is true, and like you said, Joey, like you don't know what's going to happen when Ramondre comes back. Now, personally, I wouldn't be trying to put that toothpaste back in the tube. You know what I mean? Trevion looked real good. He finally hit his home runs. It'd be nice to see them kind of lean on him down the stretch. Patriots are 8-2. They get the Jets next week. So, yeah, but this trade is I'm not doing the trade if I have Jahmyr Gibbs. Shout out James SEO. Reposted the stream. You're the man, James. Thank you. If you got any questions, drop it in the chat. Any comments, throw those in there too. We're gonna jump over to actually just talk about the Raiders real quick. Genty.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. This waivers for people out there, and I know this sounds gross and disgusting, but is Tyler Lockett worth $1? I mean,
he might be.
I'm just saying, and these bye weeks, I mean, depending on what league you're playing in, I mean, you might not meet him. He's no more than a flex, but he did have 6 targets, 5 of 44, which I know Bowers is going to take the most of it. He didn't have a good game either, but do you all think Lockett's viable? I mean, he does have the connections with Geno and.
That's really tough because off of one game. I mean, I guess it depends on who you're dropping for him.
Right. Yeah.
You throw $1 at him if you've got that spot on your bench. and he does have the connection with Geno and with Pete Carroll and that. It's just that's.
I mean, it's just. I mean, Trey Tucker's not done. I mean, Tucker, Thornton, Jack Bish. I mean, none of them really done anything. I mean, not that Lockett's awesome by no. I'm not saying anybody go through and start him, but I'm just saying.
He's
security blanket. Geno's got confidence in him.
He's playing the slot. You got 18 snaps in the slot. Bowers had 18 snaps in the slot. Trey Tucker had 8. So, I mean, he is in a spot where he's kind of not competing with Deontay Thornton and who was the other wide receiver?
We are talking about deep benches here. I mean, I'm not talking about no shallow leagues. I wouldn't do it.
Well, there's so many injuries, and it's like, you're just trying to have. You just want guys that are playing when you make it to week 14 or 15, to be able to take into the playoffs with you and have them there on your bench because a 3 is better than a 0.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I can hear Dan saying that. I can hear him saying that.
Little Gumster, no problem, man. All right. Should we jump over to the Patriots? Right, we got to talk about the Patriots.
Yeah,
we have to talk about my Patriots. So going into this game, I had a couple of people that I work with. They're like, "Are the Patriots going to win this game?" And I was like, I don't know, man. I'm like, if there's going to be a game that they lose, this is probably going to be the one. Tampa Bay's, Baker Mayfield was being talked about a possible MVP candidate after the first few weeks. And their offense is pretty good. Their defense is inconsistent, but they can shut down teams, especially the run game. And the Patriots continue to surprise me week in and week out. They end up winning this game 28-23 after giving up a 3.5 minute a drive that only took 3.5 minutes for Tampa Bay to score. They kind of locked down on D. Drake May took care of business on offense. They built a nice little lead, and they ended up holding on for the 28-23 win. It was nice to see Trevion Henderson have his breakout game. 14 carries, 147 yards, two touchdowns, 2 long touchdowns, through one late in the game to kind of seal the deal. Surprising stat line, Mac Hollins, 6 receptions, 106 yards. I thought this was going to be a Demario Douglas game, and just like in true Patriots fashion, Josh McDaniels fashion, that's what the Buccaneers were probably expecting, and he pulled a little switcheroo, and Mac Hollins was part of the game plan and tore it up. Kyle Williams with the long 72-yard touchdown pass was good to see. His snap share, I gotta look at his snap share because I don't think he played as much as we want, but he did record the fastest miles per hour speed wise out of any rookie this season on that touchdown. Just wanted to throw that in there. I don't know if you guys knew that.
He was cooking. He was cooking.
Drake May, he did have a bad interception late in the game. He tried to force it in there in the end zone into triple coverage and double coverage. But the third guy came out of nowhere and made a nice pick. But still, it was a forced throw. And it could have potentially costed the Patriots the game. That was late in the game. They only had a 5-point lead at the time. And that could have cost them. But,
it was raining in that game. He missed some. He had some balls come out of his hand funny in the beginning, and then I think it was raining pretty good at some point in the second half, if I remember right. So I think that his line, as good as it was, I think it could have been a lot better if it wasn't raining. But Romo, like his second incompletion, the second one that came out of his hand funny, Romo's like, Drake May, he's having a hard time in the rain and this and that. And it's like, dude, he'll be all right. Just let him go. Drake May's a pro. The guy's tough and he's fun to watch.
Yeah, he is.
He's also Drake May's also the favorite on the sports books for MVP right now.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Josh Allen fell back to 5th. When he should, yes, he should.
Speaking of Josh Allen, let's talk about how Miami just destroyed Buffalo, man. I've been saying this all year. I think Buffalo is suspect. I don't think it's necessarily Josh Allen problem. I think the coaching kind of sucks. The defense is very vulnerable. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the deep pass. The big play, I should say, not necessarily a deep pass, but they've been giving up big plays.
Losing Kincaid, they lost Kincaid, and I think was it the second quarter that he went out?
Yeah.
And that hurt because I'm trying to pull the box score up. I think he had like 3 receptions or something like that. He was starting to cook, and then he got hurt, and that's where it really, really felt like the Bills' wheels fell off, just from what we were watching.
He's looking at missing 1 to 2 weeks possibly as well. He's considered week to week, and it's already looking pretty cloudy for week 11. So Josh Allen's going to probably be without Dalton Kincaid again. Didn't he missed a game or two?
He's
he missed. What did he? I don't know if he missed week 7 or week 6. What was there? But yeah, he missed week 6, and then they had a bye week in week 7, and he came back healthy after that. But yeah, he's looking like he's going to miss week 11, and then when he comes, if he does play week 12, he's going to deal with Houston at Houston.
That's not good.
Yeah, Buffalo's got three tough games coming up. They got Tampa Bay at home next week. Then, Tampa Bay is going to be looking for a bounce back win.
Shakira's going to eat with the targets. He's going to get peppered.
Yeah, and I think we might see James Cook. I mean, James Cook was stymied. Like there's those every now and then he has the games where he disappears like that. And it's no coincidence. Anytime he disappears, Buffalo usually loses that game. Like he is the centerpiece of the offense. Whenever they beat up on a team like 40-13 or 34-17 or something, it's always a big James Cook game. One thing I've noticed. So defense is probably going to be keying in on James Cook. So that's only going to make things a little tougher for Josh Allen. So. Yeah, things aren't looking too good in the next few weeks with Buffalo, I don't think. They got Tampa Bay, Houston, then at Pittsburgh, and then week 14 against Cincinnati, a possible Joe Burrow Cincinnati team. We'll see. And then they get New England again in week 15. So it's going to definitely make a break for Buffalo. There's a chance. I may or may not. I do have it actually, a 2-leg parlay with the Patriots winning the division and Buffalo missing the playoffs. So I'm really hoping that one hits. That was my favorite future bet this offseason. Josh,
I'll tell you the Dolphins though, like 2-3 weeks ago. You got McDaniel saying crazy stuff. You got Tua like calling out his team in front and the coaching and stuff to the press. And like you're thinking this ship's getting ready to just sink massively. And these guys they're coming out and they're still playing hard, playing with some pride. Maybe as crazy as Mike McDaniel seems from the outside, maybe these players got his back. They're trying to save his job and come out here and and play hard. I don't know, but anytime A-Chain can get loose like that, I mean, I think he had like a 38 or 39 points, fantasy points in NFC, real close to 40. When just get him the ball, and that opens everything else up. But that was, I was really impressed just by the way they fought. So there's still life in that Miami offense, even with Waddle. It's Waddle and A-Chain's show, though. I don't think that there's anybody else that's worth starting. Mm-hmm. It's even hard to find. It's hard to have a dollar guy on that team. You know what I mean? As far as waivers go, but Ollie Gordon wasn't in there to mess things up and take very many carries from him this week. Jalen Wright only had 5, so A-Chain got to have the show, and I think he showed why he should get that every week.
And they should win this coming week. They got the Washington this week.
Yeah,
they got 30 game.
They have 3 good games. They have Washington at home, New Orleans at home, and then they go to New York, play the Jets in Week 14. So they have actually 3 winnable games.
If McDaniels can get to 500, he might be all right.
Yeah,
close to it.
There's some optimism for your Miami Dolphins players.
I have Waddle, so I'm glad that he's doing good.
Yeah,
coming from a Bengals fan, I can just about find a silver lining on any team.
Yeah, me too. Fantasy makes us do that too.
It does. You don't need the other 20 guys. You've got a Chan and you've got Waddle. You're good. You got a reason to tune in.
All right, I want to bounce over to the New York Giants Chicago Bears game. This was a close game. I thought it could have gone either way, especially with the inclement weather. We know Caleb Williams is hit or miss when there's inclement weather. Jackson Dart ended up getting a concussion. He did some damage, though. He got 242 passing yards, 66 rushing yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns for 29.7 fantasy points before the concussion.
Middle third quarter.
Yeah, middle third quarter.
I mean, he was well on his way to 40-plus points.
Yeah, he's a fantasy beast. his floor is I mention it every week. He's got that floor just because of his rushing upside and his ability to just make plays. He's a great quarterback. So
I just hope whoever the new coach is keeps him under control, because he's not built like a Josh Allen, and he's already been checked for concussions 4 times.
Yeah, this is true, Joe.
Yeah. I think he has to run. Don't get me wrong, but I think he's going to back it off, or he ain't going to make it through a season.
What are your thoughts on Brian Dable being fired? I mean,
not shocked.
Do you think it's going to be good for them, or does it not matter? I mean, I thought him and Jackson Dodd have a pretty good relationship. I thought that Dable brought Josh Allen along real good in his early on in his career. So I didn't expect them to do it during the season, to be honest with you.
Will they go get Belichick? I mean, he's walking into Jackson Dart, and he's got Malik Neighbors.
I like that, Joe. I like that, and that's
he started out in the Giants too, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
On the internet too, so there's a little bit talk.
My thing is like, what are you gaining for Jackson Dart by stripping his head coach away right now? Scadabo's out, and with Malik Neighbors out, and I think it's more about developing Dart the rest of the season than it is, fire the head coach, put an interim in there. Well, the interim's going to try to shake things up to make himself look good, because this is his audition, maybe not for the Giants, but for a couple years down the road, or maybe even next year, if he can get the team behind him. And I don't know. I don't know. I know they were saying that he was going to get fired today, and I didn't really believe it. I just didn't think it would. I was just kind of shocked to see him get the axe after that. But their last three coaches, I think it's the last three coaches they fired. It's all been after they've lost to the Bears. I saw that today, and I'm like,
oh, I didn't know that.
It's like a personal thing with the Giants ownership. They lose to the Bears, they can't handle it. You got to fire the coach. That's it. We lost to the Bears.
Yeah, personally, I think Joe Shane should be fired too. You know, he basically gave away all the players they had, including Saquon. You know, imagine if they had Saquon still with Jackson Dart, and who knows if they would have had Scatterbo or not. But Scatterbo and Saquon would be a dynamic duo there. Scatterbo would probably still be healthy.
You know, it's like with Dable. I'm gonna say this, and then we'll move on right quick. It's not shocking to me that he got fired. Let's go back to Adam Gase. I always thought he sucked too. Who put him on the map? Peyton Manning. He was no head coach. Josh Allen put Dable on the map. I mean, it's if you can go back, we could find more and more of those like that out there. I mean, think about it. Well, the only big name coach I've seen, and I can't stand him, and Joe can't stand him either, and I don't think you can, Josh, but Sean Payton is still winning with Bo Nix, even though he had Drew Brees. And he struggled there for a while. I mean, without that elite quarterback, and Belichick looked awful after Brady was gone. I mean, it's just –
Maybe Dable will find his way back to that offensive coordinator spot in Buffalo with the way that offense is kind of stymied right now, seems like.
And that might be Kellen Moore in the future too. You know, he might be a better OC. You know, Josh McDaniels wasn't a head coach. He's a better OC, and he's helped Drake May.
One more thing before we move on from this game is I want to talk about the Giants running backs real quick, because last week I was talking up Devin Singletary being the running back to own here. Tyrone Tracy played 49 total snaps. Devin Singletary only played 24 total snaps. We look at the fantasy points, and Singletary outscored him 10.3 to 8.1. He's got the third down role, which I talked about. If there was a goal line carry, and I don't think did they get around the goal line? I'm not sure.
A couple times.
Yeah. Who was in? That's right.
I think Singletary had one or two carries inside the 10.
I think he did.
So
there wasn't much.
This is what I'm talking about. He's got the more fantasy friendly touches. Tyrone Tracy had 14 carries for 71 yards, which isn't bad. It's not terrible, but no receptions. Singletary had eight carries for 20 yards. So Tracy's out carrying him 2-1, but Singletary had 3 catches for 53 yards. In PPR leagues, that's going to outscore the guy who gets all the carries and no receptions without there being a touchdown involved between the two. It looks like it's generally a genuine split, but I'm still sticking with my take that if you have to pick one of these running backs, I side with Singletary. I mean, it's probably not a good thing if you're relying on any one of them, other than a bye week filler or like if you're dealing with injuries and you're using them as an RB2. Hopefully you have Jonathan Taylor as an RB1 or somebody of that nature, because otherwise you're probably not in good shape. But that's just my thoughts on that. And
see how this week looks with this interim coach. I mean, who knows what they're going to do?
I'll be interested if Russell Wilson stays QB2.
They ought to give it to Jameis
Winston. If I was the Giants owners, maybe that's why Dable got fired. Why is Russ number 2 after what we've seen already?
I know.
Like Dart goes out, you put Winston in. Guess what? You got a fighting chance. You got a gunslinger out there. Russ is washed. Send him down the road.
How about
your point may come out right if Winston starts this week? Very possible. Dart probably out. I would imagine.
Yeah, he got his bell rung pretty good. I would say he's out.
Yeah.
And I just want to mention the 0.2 revolving door for the wide receiver for the Chicago Bears. Last week it's Dunze with the goose egg. This week it's DJ Moore with a goose egg. I mean, what's going on here? Zacchaeus goes three consecutive weeks with 7 or 8 plus targets in each game. Then now he gives you 1 catch for 5 yards. It's tough to figure out that offense, man. As far as the pass catches go, Caleb Williams seems to be running the ball again. He's now got 2 consecutive weeks where he's given us production from with his legs. He had 63 yards rushing and a touchdown this week. The week before against Cincinnati, he had 53 rushing yards. So that's good to see because we like when he's chipping in 5-10 points on the ground, he's got that top 10 potential. So and his pass attempts have been over 30 the past 3 games, 38, 34, 36. So the pass attempt thing might not be an issue anymore. I think Chicago's offense is finally getting an identity. They have 2 running backs that are productive, and DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai. They got Minnesota next week at Minnesota. Minnesota's defense has been playing pretty good the past couple of weeks, so it's going to be interesting to see how they do against them there.
And
you're going to find out how good the Bears' offense is clicking, and next week.
And quietly, Loveland might be becoming number 2 passing option in that offense. I mean, he's better than Zacchaeus, and he's DJ Moore. He's going to flip back and forth with him on DJ Moore. I mean, Loveland is probably here to stay now, even with Komet back this week. But.
Yeah, I think I agree with that, Joe. He's been involved. He's got what he had 4. He had 4 catches on his 4 targets for 55 yards. Yeah.
And Swift is still the lead back.
Oh, yeah.
Monangai had a couple carries on that. I think it was their first drive, and then he got in the end zone. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he had 7.9 points, and it was the beginning of the 4th quarter, and he had 8.1 points. And then I think he got a couple carries after that to get him up close to 10 or right at 10 on the day. But that's Swift's backfield.
Yeah, they're trying their best to. That's what Montgomery and Gibbs backfield. That's what he's trying to do in Chicago. Between the 2.
Nice. All right, Josh, there any game you want to pick out?
No. So when I don't start off, I usually start off with the Bengals, and then I always go to the Indianapolis Colts.
Yes, good game.
I still say that they're one of my favorites just because of their mascot, but they're a very intriguing team, and we're seeing something very special with Jonathan Taylor. So I love fantasy football, but football's beautiful, and we see some special people every now and then, and they have special seasons, and Jonathan Taylor's having a season that's going to potentially do some things that we haven't seen since LaDainian Tomlinson. Like he's got, I believe 5 games now, if I'm not mistaken, or 4 games with 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, but five with at least 30 fantasy points. Yeah. And if you count the 29.5, that's 6.
Yeah. So he's one or 2 games away from tying LaDainian, and I see no reason why he doesn't get 2 more 3 rushing touchdown games.
We hope so.
Or catch 2 rushing and 1 receiving or whatever. Like, I mean, he is just an absolute stud. Alec Pierce has had 6 weeks now of over 48 yards receiving. He is slowly. I don't want to say that he's Danny Dimes' favorite receiver, but he's established himself. He's a solid receiver, and he's a solid fantasy starter.
He's a better all-around wide receiver now than what he was. He was like a one-trick pony, a big deep ball,
deep pass, and that was it.
He's better all around.
Steve and I have been plugging him in the lineup and on our team that we have. We're competing for an OC league title. We're in second place, and we've had him in the lineup the past 3 weeks, and he's come up big, man. He's definitely starter worthy.
I wonder if Daniel Jones being 8-2 and Dable 2-8, does that make him look even worse too?
I still say that Jonathan Taylor's paving the way for Daniel Jones's season.
Yes.
And there was times yesterday where you could see. I mean, I think Daniel Jones always has a little bit of a look of panic on his face, but he got popped in the mouth and his lips are bleeding, and they zoom in as he's walking up to the line. He's getting ready to take the snap. He's in shotgun, and you can read his lips. He says, "We're not ready for this." And he looks over at Jonathan Taylor and he says, "We're not ready for this again." And then he snapped it. They snapped it high. He tried to hand it off. Bam, he gets sacked. He walked up to the line of scrimmage and was like, "Oh crap, I don't know what they're coming with, but we ain't ready for it." But all in all, they keep figuring out ways to win, riding 50-point Jonathan Taylor weeks. So
what I was surprised at is Ty Warren. So Atlanta's been absolutely brutal against tight ends this year. Ty Warren ended up getting eight catches for 99 yards. So that speaks volumes of Ty Warren.
I will say this too. I heard this on Credit Sirius XM, actually Adam Ronas. Go back and look at the tight ends that they faced at Atlanta. That's what he brought that out the other day. He said Ty Warren is fine. He said, go back and look at their schedule of the tight ends that they faced. He said, don't be afraid to put Warren in the lineup. He named them off, and I was like, yeah, he's right. So the numbers kind of skewed their pass defense is good, but they've not really faced no tight ends, nobody that I can remember right offhand who he said he was, but there was nobody. Drake London was good on the other side of the field, as usual.
It's all London. It's, you know what I mean? I mean, Mooney is, I think Mooney's catching about 30% of his passes on the year. You can't depend on that. You can't be throwing that guy balls. You got to do better than that. Pitts had one catch until the fourth quarter. He got 2 catches, where he had one in the fourth and one in did that game go to overtime? That was the early game. I caught the second half of
it. Yes, it did go to overtime.
Yeah. I think he had one in the first, on one of the first drives. He had one in the second half, and then he had one in overtime. And they do well when they get him involved. But
last 2 weeks for Drake London, 15 receptions, 222 yards, 14 receptions for first down, and 4 touchdowns. That's
beast.
Just feed.
And he knocked Christian Gonzalez out of the game with that Steve Smith-like catch.
Oh, yeah.
It's catch it and at the same time, taking out the cornerback and landing on him full body, all his weight. Steve Smith style. Love it.
That's how I love that game for fantasy purpose, because I had Tyler Warren, Taylor, and Drake London going that game. I was like, thank you for having Bo Nix on that team too, because that's what carried me to have a decent week. That was a good game.
One thing I noticed now is Bijan's starting to slow down fantasy football wise. He's now 3 consecutive weeks without a touchdown for Bijan, rushing or receiving, and 4 consecutive weeks without a rushing touchdown. He gave us 10.8 PPR points this week. Bit of a down game. We know Indy is pretty strong against the run. He's got Carolina upcoming, then New Orleans, and then the Jets. So three games where the game script should be in his favor for bounce back weeks. So I wouldn't get too discouraged. I wouldn't go trading him. Maybe you can buy low. Maybe you can go out and buy him low. Maybe somebody's upset with them, and you can not offer him junk, but you can maybe swindle a deal where you can get him as an RB upgrade to push you through down the stretch and into the fantasy playoffs.
Algier has to be flex worthy, don't you all think? I mean,
I want to say yes, but every time I flex him,
I know, right? Yeah,
like
it's a hard one to get right all the time.
Yeah, what's he got? 17. He's got 4 games. He got 4 games with over 10 fantasy points on the year. Out of 10 weeks, he's got 3, 4, 5, 6 touchdowns. He definitely would have been playable back in the day in those touchdown only leagues.
Oh yeah,
remember? Yeah, but he's. I mean, I guess if you have injuries and bye weeks, he's worth throwing in there. I'd probably have him in the same tier as Devin Singletary.
That's fair.
But let's move on.
Penix just don't look good, does he, guys?
Who?
Michael Penix. I don't think he's the answer.
He's just not accurate. He's inconsistent. And now, I mean, maybe it's Drake London's huge catch radius that he's got.
Right.
But yeah.
I think he's better in the pocket. If you watch him, once he starts running out of the pocket, he just can't get turned. I guess where he's left-handed, he just can't get set. But he just, I don't know. Maybe he needs somebody else. Maybe he needs a Brian Dable to work on him. I mean, Dable is a good OC, but
Lord.
I mean, maybe just work with him a little bit. I don't know. So he needs help. But as long as he throws Drake London, I forgive him, though.
There you go.
Nice. All right, so we got to talk about my favorite quarterback in the NFC, Matt Stafford in the Rams. Kind of beaten up on the 49ers, 42-26. Stafford was another great game, 280 passing yards, four passing touchdowns. NFFC scoring gave us 37.7 fantasy points. He now has 13 passing touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. 4 against San Fran, 4 against the Saints, 5 against the Jaguars. He's got 3, 4, 5. He got 5 games with 3 or more touchdowns on the year. He's only thrown 2 interceptions. I only has 2 300-yard games, but I think that has a lot to do with building a lead and then them using Corum and Kyron Williams to bleed out the clock in the second half.
If they can get home field advantage in the NFC, they're the best team.
Yeah, they were my dark horse pick to go to the Super Bowl. So, before the season started, I say it all the time. Matt Stafford is an elite NFL quarterback. I have him right there, in that group for sure. It's just a matter of him staying upright. He's got 2 great weapons, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. They both had good games. Devontae, 6 receptions, 77 yards and a touchdown. Puka, 5 catches, 64 yards and a touchdown. It looked like Devontae. What did you like? It looked like he got hit in I don't want to say he got hit in the nuts, but that's what it looked like. I saw him.
He did a stutter step and grabbed his back. There was the non-contact back injury is when you're getting old. Because I've had a few of those.
It's oblique. It's actually oblique.
They're calling it oblique, but he grabbed his lower back it was a stutter. It was a stutter step, and he couldn't come out of it. Grabbed his lower back and That was it. He was toast.
I can tell you this just from experience. There is a nerve that connects the oblique in the groin to your lower back. So it could be, if something's pinching that nerve, that specific nerve, you feel it all the way through.
As a baseball fan, when I sit and watch them swing a bat and they miss, and they go hurt with their oblique, that's how kind of threw me off. I'm like,
it depends on exactly where, but there is a nerve, and you feel it all the way through, like you're in a leg too. If it's a certain spot, a certain one nerve that I'm thinking of.
For fantasy purposes too, I think Josh or Dan, one of them mentioned, I wish they would go to Ferguson. I wish, as much as they implement the tight end, they've got three-headed monster. I wish they would just implement one. They would be fantasy relevant too for people. But
that was Dan. That was Dan that brought up Terrence Ferguson, and he was seemed to be a little bit more involved yesterday. I don't know his exact targets, but it seemed like he was just a little bit more involved.
They was 12 targets for tight ends yesterday in that game for them three.
Well, they use four tight ends is the thing, and they use them consistent. They each get about 3 or 4 targets each game.
Pittsburgh number 2.
I mean, I think that's. I mentioned it a little bit last week. I think that's Sean McVay's way of disguising all of his play calls. Like, you don't know when they could go to Puka almost every time. They could go to Devontae Adams almost every time. But if they're mixing in 4 different tight ends, they're keeping the defenses on their toes. They're making it so you can't double cover both Puka and Devontae Adams. You have to leave one alone because you got tight ends roaming the field everywhere. It's just a great offensive design, a great scheme, if you ask me.
And I tell you too,
a lot of the times, and that's making the defense suck into that play action too.
Yeah, and I tell you too, we all talk, the word everybody hears league winner. I'm telling you, Blake Corum is that guy. If Kyron Williams goes down the next few weeks, he looks good when he's running the ball.
Good.
I mean, I wish I'd had him in place. I've got him maybe one spot, but which we don't wish no injuries on nobody. But if Kyron Williams gets hurt, that guy's going to, like Todd Gurley and all these people, they always do good.
Handcuff plus. So looking at the snaps, the tight end snaps, Davis Allen played 35, Colby Parkinson 39, Tyler Higbee 35, Terrence Ferguson only 22.
So 14 total targets and tight ends. I didn't see Davis Allen.
13 routes. So Ferguson, Higbee, and Parkinson ran similar amount of routes. Actually, Colby Parkinson blocked on half of the pass and play. So it looks like Davis Allen's the inline tight end, and Colby Parkinson is blocking more on pass plays than Higbee and Ferguson. So Ferguson is running routes. He is the second tight end out of the 4 as far as routes run, but obviously only 1 catch this week, so. It's a revolving door. It's going to be hard to predict and trust any of them for fantasy purposes. But
do you have the Rams rest of season schedule? What they have the next 6 weeks? Yeah,
we got that right here. Next week they're at home against Seattle. Then they're at home against Tampa Bay. Then they go to Carolina. Week 14 at Arizona, week 15 home against Detroit, week 16 at Seattle, and week 17 at Atlanta.
Week 11 and 16 we kind of hit on the Niners earlier, but Seattle is playing. I think they're playing the best football of anybody right now. Their defense is just I mean,
Unreal.
they killed me yesterday because I had JSN and Darnold in a DFS lineup, and that lineup was smoking. And then 2 defensive touchdowns, and that's it. That's, JSN got his and shut her down. That's the game to watch this week. Hopefully Adams is healthy and he can play, because Seattle going up against the Rams, that's going to be, that's for first place in the NFC West, and they're going to meet each other again later on in the season. This is playoff football this week for those two teams, and I'll be excited for that one. Darnold's playing, knock on wood, he's kind of playing mistake-free football. I can't remember if he threw an interception yesterday or not, but all in all, I mean, that game was in hand. It was 35-0 at the blink of an eye, and they're playing with George Holani, letting him rush for a touchdown, and everybody that's got Charbonnet and Walker's pulling our beards out. Like we can't guess either one of them right. We've got one on this team, one on that team, and then you hand it to Holani. They're getting different receivers involved other than JSN. But, that team right there is a team to watch down the stretch for sure, just because of how good their defense is playing. But
Yep, and boo-hoo to all the haters who said that they were in a rebuilding year. And I argued, that was one of my big arguments on Twitter during the offseason, was there's no way Seattle is in a rebuilding year. And I thought that they would surprise this year. I mean, they have 2 really good running backs. They have one of the best wide receivers in the game. Sam Darnold is a great game manager. We watched him go for 14-3 with Minnesota.
They've got Cooper Kupp had a really nice reception that he broke free, and he didn't have the breakaway speed or the stamina to hold that speed and get the touchdown, but it was a long yak. And then they've got Shaheed that we haven't got to see yet with them.
Defense had 5 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries for touchdowns. I think it was by the same player too, both times. Caused the fumble and recovered it and took it to the house. Even their kicker's been pretty money all year too.
Yeah, Jason Myers is good.
Oh, yeah. He's only got 3. He's only got three misses and 1 block on the year. He's got 3, 4, 5 games, double-digit fantasy points. That's what you want. You want double-digit fantasy points out of your kicker.
Yeah.
All right, we have to talk about the Jets because they got a big win, and this is the Fantasy Savvy YouTube channel. Steve was pretty excited about it. They put together a little winning streak. They're on a 2-game winning streak now, and
they gave up the number 1 pick. So.
And they they're about to play the New England Patriots, and I would be lying if I said that I didn't think it was a trap game. And it's because that's just how division games go. We saw Miami upset Buffalo this past week. The Jets defense is playing better. I don't want to say great football, but they're playing better than they were the first few weeks of the season. They beat the Cleveland Browns, so it's not really saying much, but they did put together 2 good games. Justin Fields really didn't do much fantasy football wise, only 54 passing yards for 1 touchdown.
Can Aaron Glenn get fired?
Yeah,
I think
agree.
the wrong guy in that stadium got fired.
I agree.
Good Lord. 54 yards passing, 42. He was 4 for 4 for 42 yards on passes of 0 yards or less air yards. Like, they're not even trying to throw the ball downfield. And now Garrett Wilson's hurt, so I don't even know who they're going to throw the ball to. You might as well just get rid of Justin Fields. Just put him on the bench. They just can't even watch it anymore.
Listen to this. This is per Fantasy Index. Fantasy Index, who I subscribe to, listen to it. They put on Twitter a while ago. In a 32-team era, only 7 other quarterbacks have finished with at least 4 games with fewer than 100 passing yards in the same season. Only one has made it up to 5 games, Mark Brunell, and Fields has another half a season to join him unless the Jets pivot to Tyrod Taylor.
They had back-to-back special teams touchdowns.
Yes, kick return and a punt return.
Yeah. I mean, with the Browns defense, I was just sitting there licking my chops for this game. And if you want to talk about a savvy way of winning a football game when your offense is bad, notice I throw savvy in there for Steve.
Mm-hmm.
You just let your special teams go out there and let's take punt returns, kick returns to the house and figure it out. That's what Devin Hester used to do for the Bears.
Which I do think feels a little bit better than what he's showing. I mean, as far as fantasy wise, I mean he should be. Hey, we've seen it in the past, but I don't know what's going on now. I don't know what's happening.
They did get 6 sacks though. They got 6 sacks.
Yeah.
Defense played good.
The thing is, Joey. The thing is like Justin Fields he's the best ball quarterback.
Right. Yeah.
Because trying to guess him, it just doesn't work. I can't get it right. And yeah, he has huge boom potential, but
if he don't run, he kills you. You know, he only got 28 rushing yards. He's got at least to have 60 and a touchdown to make it.
There's when they play a tough defense, though, Josh, you hit it on the nose. Aaron Glenn just does not let him throw the ball.
Dan said the Jets' offense is so bad the Bengals held them to only 39 points. The Bengals' defense is historically bad. The Jets are on the verge of doing historically bad things on offense. Like, oh man.
Listen, we've seen the Denver Broncos offense look like dog shit in some games, and then other games they score 44 points. So it's like all in one quarter too.
You know, one thing that we didn't mention, and we have to wait and watch the injury reports back to the Broncos. RJ Harvey may get more run. They're saying what J.K. Dobbins got a foot sprain, maybe.
Oh. I actually didn't look at the injury report.
I heard
unprepared this week. I worked.
Go
ahead, Josh.
I don't know how serious it was, though.
I don't either.
I mean, I haven't seen anything on that, and with it being Monday,
it's too early.
Yeah. But you're right, though. It is something to watch. But I'm sure because Sean Payton's so awesome that if Dobbins is out.
It'll be Tyler
Batty. He'll get 60% of the carries, and I'll start RJ Harvey in 60% of the places and get goose eggs.
Yeah, he'll bring back Jaleel McLaughlin was it McLaughlin? Yeah, he'll bring him back.
He will use 3 running backs if Dobbins is out. That's just how he is.
I'm fine with that.
Nice. All right, so we're coming up on the 8:00 hour. So you guys want to set aside? Is there any game before we jump into tonight's game? Is there any other game that you want to? Any other players or games or team situations that you guys want to discuss?
As long as J.J. McCarthy's starting, Jalen Naylor's your guy. If he's out there in your league, pick him up.
Right.
For whatever reason, he loves him. Justin Jefferson can't get on the same page with him, and they got to figure it out because yesterday the frustration was real. Jefferson didn't show it. He's a professional, I mean, he tried not to show it, but you could see it in his eyes just how frustrated that he was getting. 3 for 43 or 4 for 34, whatever it was.
4 for 37, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, And Jalen Naylor's just out there catching passes like crazy. You know, I don't know. McCarthy has a long way to go to be a good quarterback. And it's really disappointing to see players like Addison and even Hawkinson and Justin Jefferson not producing. It's sucks.
I have a team that, and I don't know why I did it. I usually don't do this, but I do have a team with both Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison combo, and that kind of hurt me this week for sure. So yeah, it's good to bring that up. How about Mark Andrews for Baltimore? He finds the end zone again. He continues to not have the volume that we've seen him get in the past, but he is finding the end zone. He's got 3 touchdowns over the past 2 weeks. Baltimore's got Cleveland next week, then the Jets in week 12, Bengals week 13, Pittsburgh week 14, Cincinnati week 15. So it looks like they have a pretty fantasy friendly schedule after next week. Obviously next week they're going to go to Cleveland. That's probably going to be a bit of a tough game well, maybe I don't know. Maybe Andrews still finds the end zone. He is Lamar's favorite end zone target for sure. But week 12, week 13, week 14 look pretty good for Baltimore offense in general.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at some of my waivers, and believe it or not, the silver bullet. I think about trying to add him, even though I don't need him. But Isaiah Likely's out there. Somebody drop him.
I just dropped him in a couple of leagues too because I don't know. He's kind of a roster clogger, and if you need this, but if you need the spot.
But I was looking at what you just said about the schedule, like hey, and I'm not knocking up the Bengals, but like Pat Fryermuth next week, just tight end friendly. But like I said, it's just I want to use Fryermuth next week in the prime time. I don't have nobody. I lost Kraft. I lost Kincaid.
Good info, Josh.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh man,
this show did say a long time ago when we went back to one of your Ross guys. We all said pick up Matt Stafford when Joe Burrow went down too. I hope people who listen to us went and got him because he's been good.
Yeah, Stafford that's league winner right there.
Yeah,
I mean, damn. All right, so
me and Dan picked up Darnold and we picked up Stafford on waivers.
Darnold too.
I grabbed Darnold.
Not on the same team,
right?
But we were able to grab Darnold in some areas because injuries and just players being terrible this year has just worked out in a good way for us. So.
Sam Darnold and Jackson Dart were my Joe Burrow replacements, and I didn't think to go after Stafford first, but I mean all three have been great waiver wire ads this year. Yeah.
And we mentioned all them too. Hopefully we can mention some more.
We got a question from Dan. Jalen Hurts or Matt Stafford? This is for week 11, I'm assuming.
Oh, they got Detroit's defense. Hurts does, and then Stafford's got the Rams at home. That's tough
against Stafford the Seahawks.
Stafford is the Rams.
I mean, Stafford's got Seahawks. Yes, they got Seahawks. Sorry.
Yeah, that's tough. Stafford's playing for a division title, though. Not that Hurts isn't, but
let's see something here.
Where's the Eagles game at? Is that in Detroit?
Philly, and 48.5. And 48.5 for Seahawks and Rams.
It's only Monday, Dan. It's way too early to be trying to figure that out.
We'll see how Hurts plays tonight. We'll go.
Let's see if Hurts is even healthy. Maybe just the fantasy gods that like to cause injuries all the time answer this question for us. But
I would think the defense, the weak link is Detroit compared to like what you all was just talking about.
I think you got to go Jalen Hurts.
I would think the defense, the weak link is Detroit compared to like what you all was just talking about.
I think you got to go Jalen Hurts. 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 I think you got to go J
And that could –
Yeah, probably.
the only thing get you,
Seattle and the Rams both run. Not that Detroit doesn't run, but Detroit likes a good shootout too.
and here's what I say too. Y'all keep an eye on this, and this is just crazy stuff. But anybody out there listening may have this same situation. It might not be a shootout in Philly if the weather's bad, because golf is awful outside. Usually,
Yeah.
I mean, if the weather's real bad in Philly, then you may want to go with Stafford, and that'd be indoors.
Nothing says that Philly's a lock for a win tonight.
Right.
So they could have a loss and then be going up against Detroit next week, and every win matters. So I don't know. I kind of, with Adams being right now hurt, I think that I lean Hurts for next week, just because of maybe some smash mouth football in Philly and Jalen Hurts needing to run the ball a little bit, maybe finally getting a couple push touchdowns.
Right.
He hasn't really capitalized on those this year. So
just like the other game that we talked about earlier in the year, could it be one of them that Gibbs and Montgomery just try to keep the Eagles on the sideline? It's just a lot of who knows what Dan Campbell's going to do.
I'm rolling out Matt Stafford until he slows down. That's my answer.
It's really close.
You said Dan Campbell though, and that's something. So Dan Campbell took over the play calling, and in the preseason, you heard Gibbs in an interview like back in July. He was like, "Yeah, we're going to throw the ball deep a lot more this year," and they threw the ball deep, I guess some, but I don't think it was being done the way that Dan Campbell wanted it to be done. Something wasn't happening there. And then he takes over the play calling in the middle of the game, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday. And Jameson Williams was highly involved. So if you've got JMO, or if you don't have JMO, and somehow he's on your waiver wire this week, I'd probably go snatch him up, because I think Dan Campbell was trying to send a little bit of a message there that I'd like for this guy to be a little more involved, create some balance, so that it's not just Amon-Ra and Laporta all day, or Amon-Ra and Gibbs all day, and start getting some of these other players involved and open it up down the stretch here for him.
The last couple of weeks, they definitely have been making an effort to get him the ball. So definitely one thing I noticed. I've been doing the snap crack. I've been filling in for Greg Kellogg, doing the not snap crackle pop, doing the black and blue. We go over that division, and Greg does the Detroit Lions. So I've been researching Detroit Lions big time the last couple of weeks, and JMO, they have been making an effort to get JMO the ball. But we're getting close to Monday night kickoff, so why don't we jump into tonight's game, Philadelphia versus the Green Bay Packers. Joey, why don't you tell us about your prop and why you think Jordan Love is going to have a game?
Yeah, I went 2+ passing touchdowns tonight for Jordan Love. I don't know. I just got a feeling that he's due for a good game. It's just a feeling he's going to have to put up points. I mean, if we'll see how this first quarter goes, and we'll have an idea. But this should be a pretty good game, I think.
This game is in Green Bay.
44.5
Yeah,
points.
We're good. So Week 10 is not Monday Night Football is not going to bookend this weekend with a game like we saw on Thursday night. I mean, Green Bay's defense is solid, but Philly's high-powered enough that I think that we can see a few more points in there. Nothing huge. I think Jordan Love gets his 2 touchdown passes tonight.
That's what I'm going with.
You guys worried about the additions for the Philadelphia defense? You don't see them playing a little bit better this week? And Tucker Kraft not being there?
So I'll go with my bet then. The Tucker Kraft not being there, Musgrave's been there. He's not a new piece. And he's really, I don't know. I like Musgrave. I thought he actually played a lot better than what he showed statistically when Kraft was out. I think last year for the first part of the season, or maybe at the end of the season. I can't remember when it was. I went back and checked the stats last week because I was trying to prove a point to Dan and I was wrong. But I think Musgrave does all right. I think he fills in. Maybe he doesn't put the fantasy points up that Musgrave was, but I do think that he gets over 26.5 yards receiving tonight.
Nice. That was your prop?
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you guys want to share Steve's?
Yeah, you want to do Steve's, Joey, and I'll do Dan's?
All right. So Steve went with Devonta Smith over 53.5 receiving yards.
Steve, Joe, you need that one to happen too.
I do. I need 5.7 points from Devonta Smith tonight to get a win in the prime time and not lock up, but to be tied for first place with the 7-3 record. I'm not going to get there by total points. I'm still about 70 to anywhere between 70 to 90, depends on how Devonta Smith does tonight. Out from first place for the total points, but if you guys know the NFFC rules, if you finish first with a record, you earn yourself a 3-week shootout against the person who finishes with the most points, and that is for the league title. That's not, and the person who finishes second in points misses out on the opportunity to win the league, but they do get a playoff berth.
And main thing is getting into the shootout.
They do get into the shootout to compete for the overall prize, but they won't be competing for a league prize in that scenario. If Devonta Smith does that, I go 7-3. I know I'm playing the other 7-3 team at some point in the next 4 weeks. So if my team controls destiny. If I can win out, Devonta Smith gets me that 6 points tonight, and then I win out the rest of the year. And I have this will give me this will put me on a 4-game winning streak. So if I can keep that going for another 4, I'll be right there competing for that primetime league title that's been eluding me. I've been trying to grab that bad boy. But that's
Watson may have a decent game too. With Golden out, he's out too.
But that's Steve. So that's Steve's prop. Over 53.5 receiving yards, Devonta Smith. Josh, you want to share Dan's?
Yeah, Dan went with Jahan Dotson, 10 plus receiving yards. I don't know. I know why Dan did it. That's an easy one. And I think that Jahan's been catching at least one a game or getting a couple targets, a game the last 3 or 4 weeks. So I think Jahan gets in there, gets him a catch for, maybe 8 yards, sneaks in a couple more. And I'll agree with Dan on that. Jahan Dotson, 10 plus yards. Throw it in your parlay.
And my pick is my prop for tonight is Jordan Love over 15 rushing yards. Look, Philadelphia has given up 103 rushing yards the last 4 games. Now I know that they got Jackson Dott twice in those 4 weeks, and then Bo Nix in the other. But if you look at they're on the back end as far as giving up rushing yards to quarterbacks on the entire year. And Jordan Love, obviously the last couple games he hasn't run, but if you look at his first 7 games, he his first game 4 rushing yards, second game 12, third game 18, then fourth against Dallas, week 4 he had 28, Cincinnati he had 26, Arizona he had 22. So I have a feeling that, the teams that give up, one thing I noticed with the research is teams that give up rushing yards, Jordan Love has gone over 20 in those. Now, I was looking at the the 25 rushing yards if you wanted to tease up and put in, if you wanted to ladder up and do both. But safe play is the 15 rushing yards. It's plus odds, plus 137. I think, would you get plus 119 on
I had plus 114 on FanDuel. I think you got plus 136 or something like that.
They must have hammered it on FanDuel and it brought the line down a little bit. But I thought that was a good one tonight. I could see Jordan Love getting a little bit mobile tonight. So
tonight's the night. We're due, boys. We're due.
And then I want to throw another one out there that I kind of like, because Green Bay is, their weakness in their defense is against the tight end. So I like Dallas Goedert. I like Dallas Goedert first touchdown tonight as a long shot.
Yeah, he probably will.
I like Goddard anytime touchdown. I don't disagree with your first touchdown, but I do like Goddard anytime touchdown tonight.
I did both. I did 2 3-leggers with involving Goddard's receiving yards and an anytime touchdown, and in the Jordan Love 15 rushing yards. I like that call.
I know you got Devontae Smith. Have you and Dan got anybody, Josh? Anything going tonight? Or
we've got AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts. Or no, my bad. We had Stafford in that league. So we've got AJ Brown going tonight, which is always scary. So hopefully, he gets his book out, reads his book, gets a couple touchdowns, does some big AJ Brown things. But I don't know.
We got a last minute question in here. Is this Amon-Ra for CD?
That says, do I trade for Amon-Ra or either? It seems like either one of them for a keeper league to me.
Obviously.
Absolutely.
You probably
which one do you guys like better, Amon-Ra or CD moving forward?
Yeah, I think it's Amon-Ra. Oh, yeah.
Well, he ain't got really a Pickens across from him either. He's the man. CD's still the man, but he still got George Pickens that's capable.
He's got Gibbs that steals some.
Well, he's got Gibbs too, yeah.
They're about the same. They're both consistent. They both have – CD might have a higher ceiling per game, but Amon-Ra is definitely the more consistent of the two. You can't say that CD's not consistent. So
no, he's good. Yeah.
I think Amon-Ra, if I'm not mistaken, I think it goes back to week 10 of 2023 or 2022. He's the most consistent fantasy wide receiver. His ceiling's not the highest, but he consistently puts up like 17 points a week or something. I forget what the average is, but he has the highest floor.
Yeah, if you're looking for somebody to build around in a keeper league, I think I like Amon-Ra here, because then you can always draft somebody with high upside like CD or depending on your draft position and
a consistent offense also, and an offense that just likes to throttle teams. They want to put up 40 points every single week.
I like that.
Have any more questions in the chat? Or?
No, that was it. That was the last one. That's it. You guys have anything else to add before we go watch some Monday Night Football?
Yep. Happy Marine Corps birthday to all the Marines out there. My good buddy Doug Short that works with us. He's a Marine. He's celebrating tonight, and thank you to all the veterans tomorrow.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for your service. 100%. You guys risk your life so that we can have freedom and do stuff like fantasy football podcasts.
Absolutely.
And enjoy Monday Night Football. So
that's right.
Absolutely. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. Hit the like if you enjoyed the show. Subscribe if you're not subscribed to the Fantasy Savvy channel. Steve's killing it with his late night shows. I wish I could be part of them again, but I started a new job that requires me to get up at 4 a.m. So, you know,
Man,
maybe
real world problems right there. That's
real world. Yeah, that's. I mean, I not only that, but like the last 2 days, I've worked 25 and a half hours the last 2 days. So I've been kicking. I got the next 2 days off, so I'm gonna enjoy this Monday night football game, watch it the whole thing, and enjoy my next 2 days off for sure.
You get a sweat next drive. Packers they've got the ball, so you ain't missing Devontae Smith yet.
Nice. Yeah, we need 6 points from Devonta Smith. I hope everybody gets what they need tonight to win their matchup. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Josh, great. Joey, good show. Always a pleasure talking football with you guys.
Absolutely.
We'll do it again next week. We'll have Dan. Hopefully, we'll have Dan in next week. Possibly Steve. I know Steve said sometime in November you will be joining us. So. We might get a full round table going from here on out. But
everybody just has to make sure they really study these next 4 weeks. Because lineup decisions are so crucial. So any little thing can just sometimes you have to just go for your gut too. I've done that yesterday and I messed up. I gave up a few points yesterday. I'm not blaming Drake Bo Nix over Drake May or whatever. I'm just talking about other lineup decisions I had. It was tough, Everybody's going to not get nothing. You ain't never going to get everything right, but just be careful and really study.
It just stings more these last 4 or 5 weeks of the fantasy season when you get it wrong.
All the decisions,
these next 4 weeks.
Yeah. The decisions become more magnified for sure. They become more important as it gets down to the wire. You need to win these games. So, but good advice, Joey. Always go with your gut. Do your research. Listen to the people you trust, their opinions. Put it all together and make yourself your own decision based on your gut and the facts that you have at hand. And that's all you can do. So
absolutely.
After that, it's best of luck, I guess. But
1 week at a time. That's all you can do. And at the level we play, you just have to, just 1 week at a time. You can't. You can look a little bit ahead, but week 11, that's tomorrow. It starts.
It starts. Yeah.
Nice. All right. So. Everybody enjoy Monday Night Football. We'll be back next week, same time. Everybody have a good night.
You too.
We're out of here.